And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Hi everyone, Meteorologist Joel Curtis with your aviation weather issued Wednesday, December 18th. Starting out with our flying weather for Thursday morning, extensive IFR over the Bering Sea, marginal VFR up to the Bering Sea coast, including southwestern Alaska, much of the Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutians. Then also we have IFR out over the Gulf, touching into Kodiak Island, a little bit into the Alaska Peninsula. Otherwise, marginal VFR almost up to the coast in a lot of regions, and a little bit north of Kotzebue. Then for Thursday afternoon, extensive IFR develops over southeastern Alaska and marginal VFR along the coast. Much of the Gulf Coast and on inland has got marginal VFR conditions. The northern two-thirds of the state, pretty good VFR. Otherwise, marginal VFR across the Alaska Range down into southwestern Alaska. Some IFR up through Chillicothe Strait in the Alaska Peninsula in that region, as well as IFR all over the Alaska Peninsula and on up towards St. Matthew Island. We've got some marginal VFR out ahead of that, and then marginal VFR and IFR for the central and western Aleutians. And then for Friday morning, again, marginal VFR for much of southeast Alaska, all the way through the Gulf Coast, on up into the Alaska Range, Prince William Sound, Cook Inlet, also southwestern Alaska, Bristol Bay, on up to Cape Romanzoff and Kodiak Island. A band of IFR conditions through the eastern Aleutians and on up towards St. Matthew, and then extensive IFR over the far western Bering Sea, and a little bit of IFR over the Gulf. And then by Friday afternoon, some of that IFR conditions moves into Dixon Entrance. Also IFR along the North Gulf Coast down to Kodiak Island, including Chillicothe Strait and Bristol Bay, and also to Sitkinak Island. And then out in the Bering Sea, we've got an extensive IFR with marginal VFR all the way up to the Bering Strait. So now for our pass conditions for Thursday. Anaktuvik Pass VFR and Anagan Pass VFR. For Lake Clark and Merrill Pass, both marginal VFR and expecting some turbulence there. Rainy Pass, VFR becoming marginal VFR with some turbulence. Windy Pass, VFR becoming marginal VFR, also turbulence expected in the pass. Isabel Pass, VFR. And Mentassa Pass VFR becoming marginal VFR. For Tahitna Pass, VFR becoming marginal VFR with some turbulence expected. Portage Pass, marginal VFR, turbulence expected in the afternoon. And Chilkoot and White Pass, turbulence all day, VFR becoming IFR in the afternoon. For our freezing levels, got one area of 2,000 foot freezing level down from St. Lawrence Island, a little bit of southwestern Alaska, but short of Nunivak Island. Otherwise, in the surface level in the morning has got most of the state. And then we can see some warmer air down with a 2,000 foot freezing level just north of Dixon Entrance and on out into the Gulf. So that sets up our icing for Thursday. First of all, we've got an area of considerable moderate out over the Bering Sea. That's 2,000 to about 10,000 feet. And that may taper off in the afternoon, but we're keeping it in the forecast through the day. And then for the Gulf Coast, we've got considerable moderate from about Prince William Sound down to Kodiak Island, and then lots of isolated moderate all across the North Gulf Coast, a little bit of considerable moderate for Yakutat Bay and the northern part of the Panhandle, as well as the Heidelberg area, and that's from the freezing levels, which is going to be mostly at the surface, on up to 12,000 feet. So that's your aviation forecast. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to file a flight plan and fly safe out there.